Hi kiddos, today's First Pages Friday comes from the book ChuJusShouse. This is by Gloria Whelan. I'm going to read you the back and then I will get to the first pages. The back says, "One girl too many." When a girl is born to Shuju's family, it is quickly determined that the baby must be sent away. After all, the law states that a family may have only 2 children, and tradition dictates that every family should have a boy. To make room for one, this girl will have to go. 14-year-old Shuju knows she cannot allow this to happen to her sister. Understanding that one girl must leave, she sets out in the middle of the night, vowing not to return. With luminescent detail, National Book Award-winning author Gloria Whelan transports readers to China, where the law conspires with tradition, tearing a young woman from her family, sending her on a remarkable journey to find a home of her own. It's really hot today, so as I read, you may get to listen to my neighbors' yappy dogs or people walking on the street or something because I have the windows open. Chapter 1. It was the 5th day of the 4th moon, tomb sweeping day, which some call the day of pure brightness. It was just such a day, for the spring sky was bright blue, and the fields of ripened winter wheat shone gold in the sun. All across the hills you could see villagers like ourselves making their way to their ancestors' graves. I ran ahead on the goat path, happy to leave the village where it was all houses and people. The sweet smell of wild roses followed us up and down the hills. I loved the upness and the downness of the hills. On this day, I thought hills were the best idea of all. "Shuju," my grandmother called. "You are like a wild dog, let loose. Have a little dignity." Nothing I did pleased my Nai. I slowed my steps, as was proper for so solemn an occasion. We would ask of our ancestors the thing we had asked in the village of the palm reader and of the astrologer. It was the thing that was talked of in our home day and night, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in angry shouts. Often, Nai would look at me sharply, as if it were all my fault, and I often felt it was. We passed a small house where azalea bushes grew beside a pig pen. I took Mama's hand and pointed out the pink piglets rooting among the pink blossoms. Mama stood beside me, smiling. The baby was due any time, and I guess she was happy to rest for a moment. Baba paused to admire some rows of new corn. My father was a doctor, but his parents had been farmers, and he had been a farmer until the government had taken their land and joined it with other farms to make a big farm. When his parents protested, they were punished and sent away to this place, where we now live. Baba had only been a small child then, but he remembered the farm and took great pleasure in anything that grew. That is a thing I have from Baba. "It is a good year for the corn," he said. He grinned at me. "Your little pigs will grow fat." Below us, the houses became small. The river, the Ganjiang, curled around the village like a silver ribbon. Overhead soared a great yin with its dark wing and white breast. At last we came to the house where our ancestors were buried. The graveyard was small, with only 3 tombs. Baba had planted a pear tree beside each tomb. The white pear blossoms drifted down like snowflakes, covering the graves. A little bird with an orange head peered at us from the top of one of the trees. Its song was like the guzheng, the lyre, with its sweet sound. During the years of war and revolution, the people of China had been blown about like autumn leaves, settling now here, now there. With many tears, they had left the graves of their ancestors. Few people could afford a trip of 1,000 kilometers to return to those tombs. Nai said it was the disgrace of all those untended graves that caused our country so much sorrow. I had come to this resting place of our ancestors many times and knew the names on the stones by heart. I had seen the places set aside for my Nai and my Mama and my Baba and for a son, if there should be one. I was saddened that there was no place for me. One day I would marry, and when I died, I would lie with my husband in some distant place. I was 7 when Yeye died. I came with Baba to find a suitable location for my grandfather's grave. Baba brought with him his bamboo divination blocks, which would help him discover the most auspicious place, the place with the best feng shui. If your ancestors were displeased with their burial place, they could be mischievous and cause you trouble. Nai Nai had been unhappy with the site Baba had chosen for her husband, but then Nai Nai was unhappy about everything. Unlike Nai Nai, who could only see that I was not a son, Ye had been kind to me and would pick the bits of meat from his rice and put them in my dish. When Ye became sick, my Baba prescribed a certain kind of snake for him, and Ye gave me bits of that cooked snake. For days, I thought I felt it slithering in my stomach. As a special treat, Ye would take me with him to fish in the river. First, we would catch grasshoppers for bait. Once I caught a cricket, but Ye shook his head. Not a cricket, he said. At night, the crickets sing away the darkness. He wove a small bamboo cage for the cricket and put it beside my bed. Now you will have only pleasant dreams, he promised. This will be in the library with the W books.